I just want to reiterate what this man did. He's facing Kevin Durant, who has been lethal in the clutch with his length and size and the way he shoots. Devin Booker, who has spontaneously combusted at the end of fourth quarters. And this rookie, playing his fifth game, outgunned both of them. You mentioned the 10 of the last 12 points. That was exceptional. By the way, the Suns only 5 points in that same period of time. Wemby shooting 4 of 4 from the floor in that time. By the way, the Suns in that same stretch, 1 of 10. I mean, this guy walked in there and blew away not just good players, but great players. And we talk about just how good he is in those moments. It's partly because he's been in all of those moments before. This guy has been a pro for years already. He's played and won championships, and you can see it. He has absolutely no fear. This ceiling of this player is so high that after the game, we talked about all of the records that he sort of either set or tied, and you've got names like David Robinson in his first 5 games, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James. Victor Wembanyama's ceiling, I'm not predicting he's going to definitely get there, but his ceiling is higher than every single one of those 3 gentlemen. We've been sitting here for, a decade debating MJ versus LeBron. The ceiling of Victor Wembanyama is that he could render that completely mute. I mean, it's just
hard to believe.
But it's not when you look at the track that he is on and the ingredients he has. And look, Skip, you and I lived through all of the Michael Jordan, next Michael Jordan hype, and the Harold Miner, and the Tracy McGrady, and Vince Carter, and Grant Hill. And Grant Hill's a great example of the fact that health can completely derail this, right? Physicality, all of that stuff. But this kid has the ingredients, the will, the drive, the competitiveness, and the work ethic. Keyshawn, I watched him when he was here in Los Angeles do his pregame warm-ups. He was going nearly at full tilt. He's practicing taking charges 10 minutes before they have to be back in the locker room.
It's good to be 19.
I was literally about to say, when you're that young, you can go full tilt in pregame, and it will not bother you over the course of the game.
I didn't see Zion Williamson doing that.
No. Good
well,
point.
Zion's a different build. He can't do it the same way, but when you talk about what he was able to do last night, his length, his size, hitting buckets from all over the floor, not just pulling up for the 3, getting down on the block, many oops coming, you dunking the ball, taking off basically from the dot within the free throw line, 2-hand yams. It's one of those situations. You mentioned it. You mentioned David Robinson. You mentioned Shaq. When you start thinking about them early in their careers, and I go back because I was around, I was able to see those sort of things, he could potentially be better. Different, though. Different because Shaq was such a force. He didn't shoot the 3 because that's not what the league was about. It was about getting on the blocks,
well, he had
dominating.
hard enough time shooting a free throw, but go ahead.
Hard enough time shooting a free throw. But when you see this kid able to put the ball on the floor, able to walk into a 3 and knock it down, okay, you got to say to yourself, okay, where is this headed? What does this mean? Is he going to eclipse some of those great players in terms of talent? Maybe not rings, because rings are hard to get. They just are. I mean, that's just the reality of it. No matter how great you are, things got to go your way a certain way. You can't always just think that a player is going to wheel his team to victory. But like you said, Skip, his clutch situations in the fourth quarter, not only that, did he answer the bell with you by getting down low at times and being aggressive and flushing it, because that was one of your pet peeves over the last several games. Here he is now in 5 games, averaging 28 and 2. And the only person to do that in the first 5 games is Shaq.
Again, Shaq, David Robinson, LeBron. He's already on that path.
Okay, so just me, because I'm the biggest Shaq fan, and for those 3 years there when he was in shape and the most dominant, listen, I'd never seen anything like it. And it's
he got heavier as he got older.
I got it. But he was an unstoppable, overpowering force. And it's hard to believe Victor's ever going to be able to achieve that kind of physicality. But to your point, Rachel, last night was a breakthrough night. And I have, as Keyshawn said, I have pounded this table. Victor, you're 7'4", you're 8 feet long. Phoenix did it again. They opened the game last night with Devin Booker guarding Victor Wembanyama because he was just drifting out and camping out at the three-point line. And so they think, yeah, we can put a 6'5" guy on you because who cares? You're not going to punish him. And I said, I'm yelling at my TV, Victor, just go down, just call for the basketball, because Devin Booker cannot. If you catch the ball in anywhere 5 feet from the basket, you can just shoot little baby hook
Little
shots.
bunny.
Yeah, they're bunnies for him. And finally, for a while, they even had Eric Gordon on him for about 3 straight possessions when Book took a rest. I'm saying, Eric Gordon, 6'3", what are you doing? Finally, he started picking and rolling to the basket, and boom. And finally, when little guys were on him, he started to go down to the low post and call for the basketball. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He became unstoppable in the paint last night because he took 13 paint shots, which is by far the most he's taken, and he had 10 makes. I'm going to show you real quick the 10 makes in the paint. He could do this to anybody. I don't know if he could do it to Shaq, but just about anybody playing. This is a breakaway basket. By the way, the kid runs the floor like a gazelle. There's another one. Again, he's not exactly tearing the basket down, but he just lays them in because you can't stop it. He's too long and agile, and he has too much skill. These are all unstoppable.
Oh, okay. My God.
Who's going to... Okay. All right. This is candy from babies by a baby, right? Okay?
But this is what I was saying.
You can do that all night long.
He just needed to grow. This is only his fifth game.
That's some skill. That's some up and under skill from 7'4". Are you kidding me? Okay. Yeah, and just roll. Okay. Got it. Okay, beautiful.
I haven't seen anyone with this kind of potential.
Right.
In more, decade plus, possibly longer.
All right. So now, quickly, could we just see the 10 late points? It starts with 3 free throws. And by the way, the skill level from the free throw line is beautiful to watch because he can shoot and make threes. He's shooting 32%, but I think he can become a 35-ish% three-point shooter because he's got a beautiful stroke from the free throw line and from 3. Okay? Look at the arc on these free throws. That's beautiful. Shaq, in his dream. Right?
Stop, man. Leave Shaq alone.
Oh, come on. Because usually when you're that tall, it's hard. Your hands are too big to shoot
to hit
like
the
that.
Arc.
It's
yeah.
Just, okay. These are the 10 clutch. Look at this. He's got.
But European players traditionally shoot the ball better.
Yeah. Like a catch and shoot jumper from 2. Really?
I mean, it's
okay.
It's ridiculous.
That took my breath away. And to your point, the body language late in games, he just says, give me the ball and get out of the way.
100%.
And you don't see, it doesn't look like he's mean mugging or he's got killer will, but he just does it. And he is, to your point, completely fearless because he's been playing professional basketball, albeit in France, but he's been playing for a couple of years. And he's like, okay, I got this. I know how to do this.
Rachel, we've seen long guys like this, tall, long. How come they haven't been able to display this skill set that we're seeing with him?
I mean, he's obviously just incredibly physically gifted, right? For a tall guy, it's not just that he's 7'4". It is the speed and reaction time and all of the different. And by the way, what's up here mentally, and that's why to me his ceiling is so high. He has that killer instinct. He said in preseason, he said, "I want to do things no one has ever done before," and I really think that is how he approaches mentally these games. And guys, we haven't even talked about his defense. I mean, he is on track. Again, we don't know with physicality and whether health is going to let him get there, but he is on track to be a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. You talk about his 8-foot wingspan and just the space he takes up on the floor. Opponents have already talked about that. I just didn't have anywhere to go, right? He's been blocking and swatting down shots of, again, the likes of Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson in the preseason. He swatted away a shot, ran down, and dunked it on the other end before anybody could even get there. And then right directly around the basket, Skip, even before last night when he had the offensive breakthrough around the hoop, defensively, if you look at the numbers of guys attacking the rim when he is there straight up, it is infinitesimal, the level of success that other players are having. So, again, this well-rounded kid we're seeing right at the beginning of his career lets you know that, again, all the, the things that you can't predict, health and bad luck and all of that stuff, but he is on track to obliterate some of the debates that we've been cherishing and having for a decade.
Yeah, his next 5 games is some pretty good cherry pickings. He got the Raptors, the Pacers, the Knicks, the Timberwolves, and the Heat. So those are his next 5 games. He might have to cherry pick those a little bit.
Okay, all right. But he just beat Phoenix at Phoenix twice. And again, they still don't have Bradley Beal, but last night they had 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
And to your point, Rachel, when Book was starting to cook in the fourth quarter, when he started to drive the basketball, you could see him kind of looking over his shoulder like, I don't know where that guy is. He's coming. I know he's coming somewhere.
Well, he blocked him once down low, got him real good. And I don't know what made Book think he was going to put it up over him underneath the basket. I'm like, that's not going to happen.
Guys, just wait until he gets an upgrade at point guard. I mean, that's the other thing that we're not talking about is this is such a young team.
They don't really have one.
He doesn't, exactly. No. I mean, the Greg Popovich experiment at point guard, I have to say he's a Hall of Fame coach. He knows better than me, but I would not go this direction on this team. I think there's other guys on the roster who might step in better there. But that being said, at some point, they are going to get a truly great point guard to be alongside him. And then it's going to open up an entire other level of his game. I mean, you have to remember who he's playing with right now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in my head, Rachel. I'm thinking in my head, when can we start tampering?
Who do you want, Keith?
Everybody always wants to play in L.A.
Yeah.
Just say it.
I mean,
just say it. He would look very good following all those bigs in that purple and gold.
Man.
That's all. I'm just saying.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, man. I think wishful thinking.
I think he's made for San Antonio.
Yes.
I do, because Pop has always coached the international players. And
no, I get it.
It's a great place to live because it is the only game in town.
Yeah. And for him, I mean, I know a lot of American players think, oh, the Knicks, the Mecca, or L.A. and all the history here. You have to remember, for Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs are the one with the history. French players, some of the greatest French players of all time, have played in that organization. And he said before the draft lottery even happened, I hope I play for the Spurs. The Spurs are my first choice. That's what I want. And you saw his reaction when they pulled out that number of the lottery. He just went crazy because he knew that was where he wanted to be. I don't know if your tampering is going to do any good against that kid.
A couple years, we'll be all right. Get him out here, show him the way to live in L.A. He'll be fine.
But wait till he plays with a great facilitator and a great passer. I think it's going to be exponential.
No, he's really good.
All I know is he is must-see TV.
Absolutely.
I can't take my eyes off it. All right, we got to get back to the National Football League, to the game of the day of the year so far, this Sunday at Philadelphia. Who has the better game, Dak or Jalen? You know where I'm going with that. No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.